Thank you for joining me today at Pop Culture Unplugged.
Yeah, thanks, Elias. Thanks for having me.
I was just telling my wife the other night, doesn't it feel like Dawson's Creek was on like yesterday? Time is
Yesterday,
flying. I mean, I'm getting old. Time is flying.
I mean, it feels like yesterday and it feels like 30 years ago. It's very weird.
Do you ever like think about that sometimes? You're like, where
Yeah.
has the time gone?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just goes poof. It just goes nowhere. But everything that's going on right now with Dawson's Creek, it's kind of, it's been fun. It's been bringing everything back, old school memories, things like that. So it's been cool.
All right. So we have the benefit coming up September 22nd, F Cancer, Dawson's Creek Reunion. How crazy was it it sold out so quickly?
12 minutes, I heard.
Wow.
I
That's
know, it's insane.
insane.
I mean, it's only a 1,300 seat theater. It's the Richard Rodgers on 46th and Broadway, but you know, 12 minutes, that's pretty fast.
Right. Any friends or family try to get tickets for this?
I have five people. I reserved five tickets myself, way back in the nosebleeds, for some friends and family members that are going to go. Yeah.
Mm. How exciting is this that you first of all you're gonna get together for a special reason also, but like get together for how many years has it been since you guys got together?
Well, we did the last reunion we did was in 2018. We did for I think it was Entertainment Weekly, which was a photo shoot. So that
Yeah.
was the last time we have all seen each other, except for well, Josh and Katie are doing a movie together right now, but James and I, we do cons every now and then, so we see each other a few times a year. But the rest of them I haven't seen in since 2018, which is
Mm,
ridiculous, but that was 7 years ago. I mean,
right,
that seems like yesterday.
right. And I even mentioned to you like I met you at the con a few years ago in Hartford, and it feels like it was yesterday also.
Yeah, it was like 2 months. Yep. Yep.
So you're gonna be revisiting the pilot episode live on stage. What was your reaction when you first got the call about doing this reunion?
Well, I was actually with James when
Okay.
we were talking about this. I knew Michelle had the idea to to put this together, and she did a wonderful job doing that. And yeah, I mean, it's the perfect thing to do.
Mm,
A cast reading of the original airing of the original show. So it's going to be great. I mean, it's I've actually done this before too. I did it at the ATX Festival in Austin years ago. We did a pilot reading as well.
wow.
I was the only cast member there. I ended up reading Jen's part, but this time I'm going to read three parts. I'm going to read Bodie and which he only has a couple lines, and then two of the teachers at the high school that
Mm.
mostly deal with Dawson.
So this is, like I said, it's a meaningful cause. It's supporting James, raising awareness for cancer. Like, how important was this for you also to be part of this?
Hugely important. I mean, James and I have talked a lot over the last couple of years about all this stuff, and it certainly hit me pretty hard when he told me. And it's just it's tough to see a friend go through this. I mean, he's doing great.
Mm.
His attitude is fantastic. But you know what I've really enjoyed the last about these cons that I've been doing is, I've kind of gotten to know Van Der Beek all over again as an
Yeah, I
adult.
could.
Because the last time we did this, we were kids. We were in our 20s, and it was just a different relationship. But it's been really, really fun for me to reacquaint myself with an old friend at 50 instead.
Yeah, definitely. I like how the fans, they're buzzing all over the idea of, they're going to see Capeside live. What kind of energy do you expect to see from the audience compared to the back in the day when you guys were just filming this?
I expect it to be pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be insane. This is a pretty special show for a lot of people, and anybody who is making the trip to New York, and God knows what they're charging for those tickets. They're
Right.
super fans, so they're going to have it's going to be crazy.
Mhm. Now, do you get a copy of the script so you could just like go over it for yourself before
One of these days, I'm supposed to this week.
you only have a few days before you have to be there.
Yeah, but we're reading it, so it's no big deal.
Mhm.
Nothing you got to memorize or anything like that.
Yeah. What's the one thing you're looking forward to with this too? Is there a specific moment or anything?
I think yeah, just I think just being there for a friend and knowing that you're a part of something that's pretty special. That and I was lived in New York for many years in the 90s, and it's going to be nice to get back because I don't get back that often. So I'm looking forward just to the overall experience, really.
Mm. Have you had a chance to reconnect with anybody else from the cast before you see them in a few days?
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of writing a book on my journey through the Dawson's Creek years.
Oh wow.
So I have interviewed everybody.
Mm.
I mean, over 25 people on the show and all the cast. So yeah, I've talked with all of them over the last couple of months. So it's been fun to, reacquaint and say hi and talk about the old days.
When are we expecting this book to come out? That should
It'll
be
it'll
good.
be out around this time next year, probably
Okay.
Thanksgiving 26, something like that.
That's a great thing to bring around the cons. What you do in the cons too?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's good.
Mm.
It's about we do some deep dives. For anybody that loves Dawson's Creek, they're going to love this
Yeah.
book because we just kind of tear apart some of the more popular episodes. I mean, scene by scene.
Mm.
We talk about all the behind the scenes stuff that happened with casting with all of the characters. Those are the most interesting stories, I think.
Mm.
We talk about how the show itself came to be in terms of the executives and Paul Stupin and Kevin Williamson pushing this thing, and it was quite a journey to get that thing even on the air.
Mm. There's one question I wanted to ask you. Did you originally go for Dawson? Is this true? Did you audition for Dawson at first? Somebody
No,
kept telling me
Josh did.
Josh did.
Josh
Okay.
originally went in for the character of Dawson, and I think it was Kevin and Paul that said this, that they were very quickly knew that he was a Pacey and not a Dawson.
Mm.
So
So
yeah,
you're always Jack.
I was always Jack. Yeah, of course the
Mm.
role changed after I got there, as you know, but I was
Yeah.
always Jack.
Mm. So when you first joined like the Dawson's Creek, did you like know he was going to come out, or was it
No,
something that was revealed? It was revealed to you later on. That's what it
yeah,
was.
and all this stuff. We went into depth in this in the book.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was, when I was. I'll tell you, this is a quick story. This is every time I tell this, I can't even believe it actually happened. But when I was moving from New York to Los Angeles in the summer, it was early summer of '98.
Okay.
I was a contract player on a soap opera, did a couple movies, no big
Mm.
deal. Nobody knew who Kerr Smith was. And I'm, in my U-Haul driving across country with the girlfriend and everything I own in the back. And, I've got 4 days to think. Well, I started thinking, all right, well, if I had my pick, what show would I want to be on?
Mm.
And I thought, all right, well, I really like Party of Five. They were
Okay.
kind of on the tail end of their run, but I'm like, I would love to be on that show. That would be fantastic. And then there was this other show that I had seen where I saw the pilot and the girl climbing up the ladder to this guy's window. And of course, that's Dawson's Creek. And I thought, well, that thing's going to be a hit. And so those are the two shows. And I just kind of obsessed about it on my ride out for 4 days. So I roll into Venice Beach, which is where I lived for decades. And would you believe my first audition is for Party of Five? And it wasn't a bit role. It was to play Nev Campbell's boyfriend. I think Jeremy London ended up getting the role.
Mm.
I did not do well. In fact, I really screwed it up, so I didn't obviously get that. But about a month later, I had what you call it's a general meeting. It's not an audition. It's like you go in with a casting executive and you say, "Hey, hi, I'm Kerr.
Mm.
This is who I am. I'm new in town, blah, 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 blah." So 30 minutes go by, and this is with Kathleen Lettery, who at the time was the head casting director of the WB. I'm getting ready to leave, and she goes, "Kerr, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm going to try and find a place for you on our network." And I went,
Wow.
whoa, whoa. I didn't know the meeting went that well. So anyway, cut to 5 auditions later for some show called Dawson's Creek. And here we are.
That's
So
awesome.
isn't that crazy? The two
Yeah.
shows that I was thinking about on the ride out are actually the first two opportunities I had, and one of them
Mm.
landed.
And so after all these years, are you happy with the way it happened for you? That you went to
Yeah.
that path?
To answer your question, because I actually haven't even answered it yet, I did not know that Jack was going to be a gay character. So when I got that role, the
Yeah.
character Jack was created to, and Andy, by the way, the McPhees together
Yeah.
were just supposed to come into the show and stir things up. And for
Mm.
me specifically, I got in between Dawson and Joey, which, if you're going to stir up, some bad stuff between the two main
Yeah.
characters, you ain't going to last that long. So I'm very happy they came up with something else for Jack to do, or in this case, something else for Jack to be.
Mm.
So yeah, he was kind of a dorky character in the beginning, and we were playing, toying with this thing. And then Kevin, about 3 months into the job, when I got down to Wilmington, he'd say, Kerr, let's go get some coffee. And I'm thinking, oh man, am I getting fired here? What's the
Mm,
deal? But on the walk over, I started to think, you know what? I bet you I know what this is about. And I knew that every character, like the four of them, were facets of Kevin's personality, all four of them. But nobody was really representing his sexuality because Kevin was in the closet at the time, publicly anyway. And I think he wanted to kind of just come out to the world with the character of Jack. And
mm,
so he told me at coffee, he said, look, Kerr, we want to go down a different avenue with Jack. What do you think? And I told him, I said, well, I didn't tell him this. I was thinking this. I go, hold on. I just landed my dream job in Hollywood. And now I'm being asked to play or do something extremely different,
yeah.
a ton more responsibility. It's never been done before in American television history, at least to the degree that we did with the first kiss and all that stuff. So I was like, look, I got to make some phone calls and really think about this because in '98, it was a risky thing to do, as you know. And of course, everybody said do it. I decided to. Kevin was uh, elated that I was on board, and we made some history. So that's how it actually went down.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's amazing. So like you mentioned with the book too. Are you gonna have like your favorite Jack storylines in there too?
Yeah,
Yeah. What's
yeah,
some
we'll
of
have
them that
some of
you?
that.
Yeah. Is there any one specific? I know obviously with the this huge one that you just talked about. Any other ones that you might want to throw in there?
Well, my honestly, the most relaxing, fun storyline that I had for me, and at the same time didn't love a part of it was the football stuff. I
Okay.
got to
Yeah,
work
I
with
remember.
John Wesley Shipp. I got to be a football
Yeah.
star. I didn't love the makeup thing that we ended up doing at one of the games, but it was a fun storyline for me. But overall, what I really enjoyed the most was working closely with Michelle and Mary Beth Peel because the three of
Mm,
us just had a blast. We were kind of, at least Jen and I were the outcasts of the group, and it was just really fun to develop that on-screen relationship.
mm. How about like, they, back because like it's been years since I've watched it too, but I was going back the other night before we spoke. There's always like rumors about alternate endings. Was there any alternate endings with your character?
No, not that trying to think. No, not that I'm aware of.
Mm,
Kevin and Greg and I believe Maggie Friedman wrote that two-parter there that cut to 5 years in advance, and I think they ripped it out pretty quickly. I don't think there was any alternative ending.
mm. How about with the fans? You said you connect, doing all the cons, you connected with the fans. Has there been like a memorable like fan message that you received by somebody that you impacted their life by playing Jack?
Almost every single time,
Yeah.
there's at least one, and I'll tell you the story. I think it was in Pittsburgh, and a lot of times I'll do these panels, and
Yeah.
talk about, answer questions and stuff. And James was doing one with me at this one. And this gentleman stands up, he's probably about 35, 40 years old, and he tells the story of him going through the exact same things that Jack was going through back when he was a teenager. And he said that he talked for like 5 minutes, and he said without that storyline, he may not be alive today. He may have made some very different choices in his life. And I'm sitting here listening to this, and I've got a tear rolling down my eye, and I felt James look at me from the left hand side, and I knew what he was thinking. He was thinking, how are you going to handle this?
Mm,
And I couldn't say anything. When he got done talking, I just got up and I walked down and just gave him a fat hug. I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
right.
But those are the kinds of stories that happen to me all the time, and I cherish it because it's so important. It means that we really put a dent in society's perspectives
Mm,
of some of the things in the world for the better, in my opinion. We've changed the face of television. We've certainly started the change in television
yeah.
where you've got all kinds of characters now and nobody cares.
Right.
It's all, it is what it is. It's great.
And we're always gonna
So,
remember. We're always gonna remember you first, which is great.
yeah. So, I mean, that's my footprint on history, and
Yeah,
I'm proud of it.
that's right. How about everybody wants some kind of like a reboot or another story. Do you think we'll ever see anything, or you think this is it?
No, you're not going to see a reboot. I don't think enough of us are interested in doing that. You might see a spinoff. Dylan Neal, who played Sheriff Doug Pacey's older
Yeah.
brother, the one I end up with, and or Jack ends
Right.
up with in the series finale. He came to me a few years back and said, Kerr, I got a great idea. My wife and I wrote this script called Capeside. It revolves around, it's a spinoff in real time. So it would be 20 years after the show. And it picks up with Jack and Doug living on the creek in Capeside. He's now the sheriff. I'm the football coach, English teacher, whatever. And we've raised Jen's kid. Remember, she gives it to me in the finale.
Yeah.
Um, um, and we've also got a house full of foster kids over the years. So it's very much. Have you seen The Fosters?
Yeah. I
ABC
know.
Family,
ABC Family. Yeah.
yeah, great show. Um, it's very much The Fosters, but with two dudes.
Okay.
And you've got the Cape Side or Wilmington aesthetic, I should say, and the Cape Side backstory. And we would have like, James and Katie and whoever else wants to be involved to do cameos every now and then.
Mm.
It we tried and Sony at the time just didn't didn't take. So I think we're gonna hopefully I'm gonna talk to Dylan and we're gonna try it again
Mm. Maybe like
with
a
all the
streaming
kids.
service or something like that.
I mean, no, we'll just try it again, just see if they want to
Yeah.
do it because there's a lot of heat around Dawson's right now, and it might be a good time to
Mm. Definitely.
revisit it.
So we have the event September 22nd, New York. What's next for you now? Like any other projects you're allowed to tell us about, or what's the plan with you?
Well, I'm finishing up the book that's basically taking all of my time. I
Yeah.
do hand that in on Thanksgiving, and then it's going to be another year with the publisher. Grand Central's publishing it, so they're going to take the year and do everything you need to do after the manuscript's handed in. I don't know what that is because it's my first time doing this.
Mm.
I've got a con up in Seattle the end of October and one in Columbus, Ohio at the beginning of December. Uh, um, there's a possible movie I might be doing too, an independent film, but it's still early stages. But I'm hoping that that pans out.
Mm. And hopefully 90s Con in the spring.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd like to get to Hartford again. That was fun.
It's awesome. Kara, yeah, this was great. Thank you for giving me a few minutes today. Good luck with the event and let's get you back on when the book comes out. We'll
Yeah,
talk more about it.
yeah, right on.
So yeah, this